So one of the things I didn't show you real quick before we do this next problem is Google Slides is how you're going to do that project we were just talking about a minute ago. I just need to go over to Google Slides. Google Slides works pretty much like PowerPoint, and most of you guys have probably used Google Slides. Um, does anybody remember what the original numbers were? I do not remember which one we were on. All right, so let's say it was this one, okay? Let's pull that aside. Throw it over here. Let's go old school with some paint. It's probably before you guys' time. We all know how to use paint. All right. So we have 6 foot by 6 foot. All right. If I multiply feet times feet, that gives me what? Just foot times foot. Anybody know? All right. That'd be feet squared. All right. Feet squared. Same thing. If I multiply foot times foot times foot, that'll give me foot cubed, right? And in our problem here, that's what we're looking for is cubic feet, right? So for them to multiply, you can multiply x times x, but you can't multiply x times y, right? You guys learned that so far? I'm over here talking about you guys not know how to use paint. It's been so long since I used paint. I forgot things. All right. That's not what I wanted to use. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. There was a little. Oh yeah. All right. So 6 times 6 feet. All right. And then we're going to add an additional dimension, right? This is what makes it 3-dimensional. 8 inches. Okay. And like we just said, we can't multiply foot times inches, right? So we have to convert these 8 inches. How do I convert it? What did we learn from the video we just watched? Somebody unmute and tell me.
Multiply it by 12 inches.
Multiply it?
Divide it.
Divide it. You knew it was one or the other, right? All right, so like I said, I usually make my students struggle and we set up the proportion and everything else. But yeah, the short version is you divide it, right? And let's see if I can remember how that's supposed to look. All right, so 1 foot is equivalent. 1 foot is equivalent to 12 inches. All right, this is just a side rant. Okay, this does not have anything to do with this original problem per se. All right, 1 foot is equal to 12 inches. All right. Therefore, 8 inches. Let's see if I set this up right. 8 inches is equal to X amount of feet, right? Did I do that right? So 1 times 8 gives you 8 inch feet, technically, but these inches are going to cross that or go away, so don't worry about those. So it gives you 8 equal to 12x. All right. So that's 12 inches, and that's foot inch. I know that's complicated. It's not really, but so then you divide. If you're multiplying here, you have to divide, right? You guys know this stuff. Divide by 12. All right. The inches go away, as I said they would. So I usually don't worry about them in this particular type of problem. So 8 divided by 12 is what? Anybody with a fancy calculating machine? What's 8 divided by 12? 0.66, right? 0.66, okay? So now we got 6 foot times 6 foot times decimal 6 foot, okay? So somebody multiply that out and tell me what we get. I got this all day. All day. Somebody tell me what we get. 6 times 6 times decimal 6. 23.76. That's what I got. 23.76 feet cubic. All right, because we multiply foot times foot times foot. All right, so if we rounded that up, it'd be 24 cubic feet, right? Before we finish the problem, you don't always want to round up until the very end of a problem, all right? When you're purchasing things in real life, if this was a real life problem, all right, and we were purchasing these things, we would go ahead and round up, okay? And because this is your very first time doing this type of problem, we're going to go ahead and round up, okay? Normally, work all the way through these. When you're doing them for me, work all the way through these before you do any rounding or figuring, okay? But let's go ahead and round it up because this is your first time doing one of these, okay? So we got 24 feet cubed, okay? All right, now, each bale, we've got soil comes in bags or it comes in bales, okay? Each bale will hold 3 cubic feet. 3 cubic feet of soil. How many bales will you need? All right. I've said to students in the past, there's very few things from math that you will really use in real life, and proportions is one of those things. All right. So if we've got one bale that covers 3 feet cubed, we need to cover 24 feet cubed. How many bales do we need? All right, that's your proportion for this particular problem. And if you thought about it kind of logically, you'll realize that all you really got to do is divide, right? But just to work it out, 24, and then you have 3x, so then you have to divide 24 by 3. All right, so what's 24 divided by 3 feet cubed? What's 24 divided by 3? 8. All right, so that will be 8 bales. I'm not even going to try to write letters, okay? 8 bales, okay? Of soil. And we're not quite done yet, right? This thing has a lot of different parts. And in the future, I'll make you guys calculate for actual tax as well. But the short version is each bale costs $40. How much money are we spending on soil? If each bale costs $40, how much money are we spending on soil? So it'll be $40 times 8 equals what? $320. Thank you. All right. So to fill our raised beds, we're going to spend a big fat 320 buckaroos. All right. Now this is one of the easier problems. And I'm glad you guys were here today to see it. I know we're missing a few folks today, but that's the short version of how to do this. And I'm sorry that I don't have a lot better way to present this to you. But we're going to do some of these problems for the rest of the week. And by the end of the week, you'll probably know shortcuts that I don't even know. All right. So it's a good learning experience, and this is a good practical application that you will actually have the potential to use. I've had to use this on job sites and for projects, and as you guys are going to learn, this math applies to a lot of different things beyond just garden soil. Okay. So if you got any questions, let me know. I'm going to go ahead and stop this recording. Maybe.